For ACUsports.com, I'm Grant Boone with head softball coach Bobby Reeves. His team is coming off a 3-game sweep of Arkansas Pine Bluff at the newly resurfaced Wells Field over the weekend, and then getting ready for Southland Conference play this weekend. Let's talk about this weekend in a second. First, the first 3 games at the newly resurfaced Wells Field could scarcely have gone any better, could they have, Coach?
It couldn't have went any better. I mean, the surface was unbelievable. The play was unbelievable. We got 3 wins, all by run rules. So I don't think we could have scripted any better.
Well, the first game literally couldn't have gone any better in terms of number of hits allowed. Hannah Null with her second career no-hitter. It was a great way to start the home part of the season. But this is no big surprise. We've seen her do this against some of the best teams in the nation, haven't we?
We have. You know, she pitched a 3-2 game against Texas. She pitched a 2-1 game that we won against Tulsa. You know, she threw good against Northwestern in the first weekend we went out. You know, and she just gotten in better shape each week. And so I hopefully by the time conference, and I truly believe that, she's ready to go 100%, and we're excited.
You know, we talked so many times, didn't we, during last season, how your team just exhibited the mental and intestinal fortitude to fight through without Hannah. And then you get her back. And it's difficult to overstate the difference she makes, isn't it?
Oh, you bet. You know, in our sport and in baseball too, I mean, if you've got somebody in the circle that's going to give you a chance to win every game you play, no matter who it is, it's a tremendous advantage. You know, she keeps the ball in the ballpark. She doesn't walk people, and then we go out and we play defense and we hit like we know we can. Then that's just a good recipe for some wins.
You know, you've put Allie Turner, your freshman, in some tough spots against some great teams, and she's taken her lumps like just about every freshman does on any level of softball. But then we see what she did on Saturday when she threw a shutout. Was she able to exhale a little bit and say, okay, maybe every game's not going to be like going up against University of Texas?
Exactly. You know, we've told her all along, you know, that once you get here, you've got to quit being a thrower and become a pitcher. You know, you've got to work the count, you got to work the zone, you got to do some things, and yes, I threw her in the fire the first couple of weeks, and you know, she was trying to be too fine with where she was trying to place the ball with her pitches, so she ended up walking people, get behind, and she'd have to throw a pretty good strike, and those great hitters that we were facing would make her pay for it. But when we come in against Pine Bluff, she just threw the ball and threw strikes and did some things, and understanding that, you know, if she can cut her walks down, her defense is going to work for her, then we're going to swing the bat and hopefully score some runs. She'll have a lot more success.
Even though arm exhaustion isn't the same in softball as it is wear and tear as it is in baseball, you still love it, don't you, when you can get out of an inning in fewer pitches than longer?
Oh, you bet. You know, if, you know, there's not anything that, you know, that keeps Hannah from throwing 2 games in one day. But she's going to be sore the second day if we need to use her. So if we can keep that pitch count down, you know, it's not really going to hurt her arm as much as she's just going to be exhausted in her legs and her hips and, you know, and her muscles in her arm and stuff like that. So if you can cut those pitches down, then, yeah, that makes it better the next day.
On Sunday, you went with Casey May Huff. You'd used her in relief a little bit. This was her first start. She threw a shutout as well, or had a shutout going into the final inning, and got the win 14-3. She can do a whole bunch of things for you. You're going to need her probably more in the lineup day to day, but isn't that nice to have some depth?
It is. You know, Casey May does a great job. She throws a good down ball. She keeps the ball down in the zone, which gets you a lot of ground balls. You know, whenever we played Texas that first go around and they scored 12 runs, Casey May came in and threw like 3 of the last 3 innings and held them at bay and got a lot of ground balls, got a lot of pop-ups, so she does a great job with that. And she showed that again, you know, in our final game against Pine Bluff. You know, we had a little mental lapse, little relaxation going into the last inning, but that happens, you know, sometimes. But yeah, she does a great job. She plays first base for us. She's going to be in the lineup a little bit. She can play third base, but she can also come in and get you some ground balls when you need them.
Coach, you now take that 3-game winning streak into the opening of conference play. You've had a little bit of a reschedule, haven't you, down against Southeastern Louisiana because of weather? Is that right?
Exactly. I talked to Rick down there, the coach at Southeastern, and it's a 100% chance of rain. I think all this weather that's come through us is just working its way across the United States. He said it's a 100% chance of rain Friday, 90% chance of rain Saturday early. Then it's supposed to start clearing up a little bit. So we're going to try to – we moved it from a double on Friday and single on Saturday to 6 o'clock start on Saturday, and then 11-1 start on Sunday.
Right. Coach, they were picked basically right there with your team in the middle of the pack in the conference. What do you expect from the Lions this weekend?
You know, they've got a lot of returners back. They've got one of the fastest kids that probably is the fastest kid in our conference, and their leadoff hitter. She likes to lay the ball down. She likes to slap a little bit and just use her speed. Their pitcher is a senior. She's back, and she's got like a 3.17 ERA, and and they're going to swing the bats. You know, they don't strike out much. They're going to put the ball in play. They're going to do some things like that. So we're looking for a good contest, and it should be exciting.
Each team has now won 3 games in a row as ACU gets ready to take on Southeastern Louisiana. Note those changes in the schedule. Saturday night, 6 o'clock first pitch. That's the schedule, again, weather permitting, in the doubleheader on Sunday. For Coach Bobby Reeves, I'm Grant Boone for ACUSports.com.